When I was born, I had the umbilical cord around my neck for a brief period. This caused a lack of oxygen to my brain and led to me having a disability called cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy has different symptoms for different people. For me, it means muscle tiredness, difficulty with balance, and learning difficulties. Also, the husky voice I'm speaking with right now. I first became aware of these symptoms when I was in primary school. I was about 8 years old. I had difficulty walking, so my mum took me to an occupational therapist. Until then, things were pretty normal. I was a happy, normal kid. That's why I wanted to talk tonight. Because truthfully, the hardest thing for me about having a disability has not been the disability, not the muscle tiredness or difficulty with balance. The husky voice can be quite sexy though. The hardest thing about having a disability for me was high school. Because instead of being encouraged and included, I was bullied. Early on, I had a few friends and we would go out. But sometimes it was a struggle to talk and discuss things. I never felt like one of the boys. And as the years went by, the friends I had drifted off. They seemed to care more about being popular than anything else. It was hurtful, like they felt ashamed to be around me. One time I was at a friend's place. My mum came over and she saw on the fridge an invitation to a birthday party of a girl in my year. Everyone was invited except for me. That was one of the worst experiences. It just didn't make sense. On weekends, I would attempt to make some calls to hang out, but everyone would always say they were busy. I didn't challenge them, and I never received any calls on their end. It was confusing. I was thinking, how can suddenly, after years of being friends with these people, and now they don't want to be friends anymore? I spent many weekends alone, while everyone else attended events like birthdays or bar mitzvahs. Then when it came to my own bar mitzvah, there weren't many people I felt I wanted to invite. That's not the way it should be. That's not a community. At school, there was a nickname I was called, which was Turkey. I'm not sure if it was a compliment or an insult. People would call out to me, "Hey, there's Turkey." And I would respond, "Hey." And I would wave because I felt accepted. But then I would be sitting at the tables at lunchtime. Everyone would get up and go and do something that didn't include me. They wouldn't even say anything. Or they would play sport and I would try to join in, but no one passed me the ball. I felt betrayed a lot and angry and sad. I didn't have anyone to hang out with besides my parents, which is not what you want at that age. Eventually, I gave up calling. I gave up trying to reach out to people, and just accepted that this is how it's going to be for the rest of my school days. And the thing that makes me the saddest is that no one seemed to care. I thought about leaving the school around the time of being in year 10. My parents took me to have a look at this government school in Brookvale, where I met the principal and had a tour. It was very impressive. There was a TAFE there, and I was doing a TAFE course at the time. So it would have been great. The problem was it was too far and hard to get to. So I decided to wait it out. I thought, I only have to bear 2 more years. In some ways, I regret that decision, because those 2 years were more of the same. And I don't know if things could have been different. I feel let down by school and have very negative thoughts about that time in my life. There was very little support in terms of disability inclusion or education. And unfortunately, I had to fight the battle on my own. After I finished school, things changed. I moved to the eastern suburbs, and it took a while to get going. I did a few jobs here and there, and had to start from scratch trying to meet new friends. It wasn't easy because I didn't always feel confident in myself. Eventually, my mum heard about this program run by Waverley Council called the Waverley Community Living Program. It's a program that helps people with disability become independent. And that is where I met Dina. We were friends first. I liked the way she made me laugh, and she had a similar sense of humour. And I think she must have liked my husky voice. Because when I eventually asked her on a date, she said yes, and the rest is history. We were married in January 2018. I also joined Maccabi Tempen Bowling, where it turns out I was a natural. I made some really nice friends. They were encouraging and happy to have me, and I still bowl to this day. But maybe the most significant thing I ever did after I moved to the East was a film course at Fox Studios. That's how I found my talent and calling. One day we were working on this film, and the tutor asked me to come upstairs. She said to me, "Ricky, you are the director of the scene." And it was completely spontaneous, and my eyes went wide. The film was about 8 filmmakers with disability interviewing their parents about when they first got diagnosed and the treatment they received from the doctors. Often it was horrendous. The comments that came were, "Your child will never be able to walk or dance or achieve anything." You would think there would be a bit more optimism. And thankfully, every one of us has proved them wrong. We have all achieved more than anyone could imagine for us. In film school, I felt like for the first time I was seen and heard. And the fact that she put so much trust and faith in me meant a lot. There was a sense of inclusion and acceptance, and to be recognized as a filmmaker and being able to make such an impact on the film was something I will never forget. Working as part of a team was incredible, and I gained confidence, and I was smiling. And one of the best parts was when we showed the film at an event called Flickerfest, and people I know came to watch it. Just the reaction from people made me feel amazing inside, where I was in the spotlight for once. I'm grateful that my life changed after high school. I'm grateful to my mum and the Waverley Council program and Dina and the bowling club and all the people who encouraged and supported me at film school. But the truth is, those early experiences from high school stay with me. I still feel hurt and let down by what happened, and since then I've heard too many similar stories about kids or young adults being pushed to the side, and that has to stop. The reason I decided to do Brave Talks was because I wanted to shine a light on what it is truly like for people with disability. The sad truth is that our biggest challenge is being included, being treated like everyone else. Not judged or left out or looked down at. I hope that listening to my story, you can see what encouragement and inclusion really means. How people can surprise you with what they're capable of, and how as a community we need to address the culture in our schools so that it is safe to be who you are without getting hurt, without having to change or hide or give up. Please, I would like to encourage people, if there is someone you see that seems to be on their own or a bit lonely, reach out to them, but not out of pity. Reach out because you want to engage with them and be open to the idea that people with disability, like myself and other people, are exactly the same as an able-bodied person. Open your minds and hearts, not because you think that you're doing a favour for someone that makes you feel good. Do it because you truly believe that anyone, no matter how they walk or talk or the kind of support they need, anyone can be part of your life. Thank you.